Okay, so we're just going to walk through a couple of the reading features on the iPad. This is the new one, and most of the features we're going to talk about are available on the old iPad, but they really shine on the new device. So we'll just use the default iBooks application here. I was looking through Geraldine Brooks's Caleb's Crossing, so we'll select that. As you can see, you can change the brightness. So if you're outside, you're going to want to use the full brightness, but as I say in the review, it's very difficult to read outside. At night, you can change the brightness all the way down to the lowest level, which is visible in darkness, but you can usually find a good middle ground somewhere. Recently, iBooks introduced a couple of themes where you could change the default settings to a more paper-like sepia, or if you prefer at night, you like a light text on a dark background, you can choose the night setting, which really is a lot easier to read during the night. Also new in the most recent version of iBooks is the full screen mode. I have it on right now, but what it does is it takes away the skeuomorphic representations of the edges of the page, and you just have the full screen reading. You still pull. The default setting is, the default setting shows you the edges of the page. Some people like this, some people don't. I don't really care, but that's the way it goes. What else is new on the iPad with this super high resolution screen is the smallest fonts are really very readable. So the way I've been reading is in an extremely small font, and you don't have to turn the pages often, which is something I really like and people who read really fast will enjoy. What is new on this iPad and not available on the previous iPad is a dictation feature, which makes making notes in the text really easy, and I'm a huge fan of it, especially if you do any kind of after-the-fact review or you're using it for teaching or presentations or writing about it. This is really great. So you press somewhere on the screen and you get a chance to make a note, and it brings up the full screen keyboard. And now in the new version of iOS on the iPad, you have a microphone, and then you can do some dictation, and I found it very fast and very easy to use and very accurate, and just all around a really good tool. So if I hit it, I'll hear a little ding and it'll record everything I'm saying, and when I'm done I hit it again and it takes a second, and it's done, and there's a transcription there, which is really nice. Now you do have to be on Wi-Fi to use that. For some reason they send the information to the servers back home on the farm, I guess, and they turn it back into speech. I'm not sure if the iPad's processor itself is too slow to render it that quickly, or they're doing something else with that information, but if you're on a train or you're on a plane or something like that, you actually can't use a dictation feature, so that's something interesting to know. The only other thing I'll say about the new iPad and its screen is it has this effect of making web pages much easier to read. This is the New York Times Sunday Review, because you can see a lot more information without having to zoom. So if I go back to the New York Times homepage, on the old iPad it was very difficult to make out the subtext below the headlines on the main page, but with the new high resolution screen I can read all of the text, and I don't have to pinch and zoom in and out like I used to on the old one, which I really like when you're web browsing, and the modern rich text and rich media websites are really easy to use. So that's just a few of the features of the new iPad, and the rest is in the review. Thanks.